Oh, and we gotta lock the view.
It's all in the middle of your chest, it's not fighting your face.
You can lock it like that.
Ready?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Short Shot Archery live stream. It's been a few days, but we're here. We had the 4th of July holiday, and we had some serious rain the other day, so that didn't help us. So yep, I'm back. I'm gonna shoot some arrows. Back to being up close though, working on a bit of like a drawing change, and then we'll be moving back to 70 at some point. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Alright. We had a few days off due to the weather and 4th of July weekend. So, we're back though, so that's pretty cool. Oh, thank you. I've been working a lot on my shooting. You know, me and my coach have been working on trying to refine some of the things. It's coming along. The only tough thing about this spot here is the sun is right in front of me, but the target's actually under a tree. So it's very dark. My target is very dark, but I'm pretty much being blinded by the sun. So it's like, putting arrows way too close together because I can't see where I shot the last one. So yeah, basically what I'm working on now is I have a little more up and then down with my draw, which is helping me set up my back and then expand with my back, to shoot the shot a lot better. I don't know if you watched some of the other earlier live streams. I was working on my finger, but then I felt there were some of the shots I was getting like stuck on, and I'd get it back there and it would feel nice and comfortable, but for some reason I just couldn't get it to shoot. So me and my coach talked about this, and he explained. He was showing me. He showed me old clips, and then he had me I guess basically set up better with my my back shoulder further further back, and I felt the difference, and I also saw the difference in some video. And basically what I was doing earlier was I just wasn't into my back enough so that I could actually use it to shoot the shot on some of the shots last week when I was just focusing on this finger. So now we're trying to, or now I'm trying to put both of those together. So I set up a little higher, and then I go and draw back further in a way. I'm actually more straight, and then I can use my back easier to shoot the shot. And it seems to be working pretty good. I have not taken it to 70 yet because I was working on getting used to the whole motion of going higher and then like bringing everything kind of down and then in. Before I was just kind of straight on almost off to the side and then just moving it over. But now I'm above and over, and then I bring it in like that. So yeah, bit of a change, but it's working a lot better for me. I don't know if that's something that'll work for other people, but it's working well for me. Alright, so that is all my arrows. I'm going to go down and pick them up. If anybody has any questions about anything, or archery related, about a particular video I made, or just other ideas, things you want me to work on, like video wise in the future, let me know and I'll check them out when I get back. Alright, I'm back. Let's shoot another end, but first, let's see if anybody's got any questions. Alright, how many pounds of weight do I have on my fingers? I am actually drawing 46 pounds. I actually went down 2 pounds. I was at 48. And, I don't know, for me, basically, there wasn't a real need to use the 48. My arrows actually ended up tuning better. I'm shooting a 410 spine X10, and they actually like tune spot on now at 46 pounds with my draw length. But basically, I need to drop the weight a little bit so that I could work on using my back more appropriately. Because before, I wasn't, in the past I wasn't really using it. Now, granted, I have shot bows that were all the way in like the low 50s. I think I was at like 52 at one point on one bow. The problem is my coach at the time, they weren't teaching me like proper or decent form. Their understanding of archery was a limiting factor in my like growth in it. Like I felt like I was capable of more, but they weren't able to assist in, you know, answering my questions and things like that. So yeah, I ended up shooting a ridiculous weight because they're like, more weight the merrier. Oh, you can draw the bow back? Go for it. So yeah, we finally straightened that out. So I'm at 46. I don't think I'll drop any. I don't intend on dropping any lower from that. I don't see any need to. You know, I guess if things go really well, I may go back up, like, but no more than like 2 pounds. You probably really don't need any more than 48. I know there's World Cup guys that do, but you know, my coach he's you know, he lives in he lives in the U.S., but you know, he's originally from Korea, and he was basically saying the same thing. 46 to 48 pounds is a really common weight for male Olympic recurve shooters. So he's like, there's no need to be really higher than that. You can make up the weight difference with good form. At least in his, you know, in that, you know, that's his like philosophy behind it. You know, it's all about good form. Even if you're shooting a lighter weight than 46 pounds, you can shoot really great scores as long as you have good form. So yeah, that's what we're focusing on: form over just like sheer like, I don't know, ridiculousness in the strength of the bow, which is good because it's probably better for you. It was also nice to see, with dropping the weight, it was like an immediate bump up in arrow count because it was just so much easier to shoot for longer. And that's pretty much stayed consistent. It's not like it went back down, unless I don't shoot enough arrows that particular day. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be as much of a struggle trying to do, you know, proper form. And so like right now I can do my, you know, my form to the best of my ability, and I really don't feel like I'm fighting the bow. Like for the most part, I feel like I am in control of the entire thing. Now, granted, if we get like, I don't know, like 200 arrows in, say, obviously I'm going to be a little more tired than when I first started shooting at the beginning of those, say, 200 arrows. But I have a lot more strength now for a longer period of time than I did when I just had, you know, 2 pounds more, because pretty much from the get-go you were always fighting it a little bit. So I'd have like a couple good ends, and then you start feeling like you're fighting the bow a little bit too much. And now I can have, you know, lots of really good ends, lots of good shots before I even feel any kind of, oh, I'm getting tired. So yeah, I don't know. If you're struggling, it could be a nice bonus. Didn't really let the bow go out far enough on that one. All right, it's going pretty great. Larger physical size is an advantage in terms. It's advantage for draw length. To a point. Like, okay, so I'm 6 foot tall, so I'm average on everything. I guess you could say archery wise. Of course, my draw length is a little longer than like the standard 28 inches. Like if you get too tall, then you start running into issues with like arrow lengths, and you start having to go to a really heavy spine. But you have to shoot you have to shoot really light. You have to shoot lighter limbs, but you need a heavy spine because your draw length adds too many pounds, for every inch you draw back. So, to a point, like I don't know if you'd want to be like 6'8" in shooting archery. That probably wouldn't be. Like, you can do it. Like, not to say, and not if somebody's really tall, not that they shouldn't shoot archery, but I feel like there's more work that has to be put into the equipment side of it. Physically, you should be really strong. Like, you should definitely be able to pull, that upper 40-pound weight, without a problem once you get used to, actually drawing a bow and the basic form stuff. You should be plenty strong to draw it back. It's just a matter of getting equipment, because like even a long bow, like even a 27-inch riser with long limbs, that 72-inch bow is still gonna feel. I feel it would feel short to you, like it'll be little, and you'll be drawing it back so far. I do feel like there is some limitations. Also, like you could go the other way too. Somebody that's very short, especially if you're an adult. Like kids are alright because the distances they're closer for their age. But if you're an adult and you're on the shorter side of this height spectrum here, you have like a problem the other way, because you need to be able to be strong enough to pull a sufficient amount of weight in order to get to, say, that 70-meter distance. Especially, I feel like it's a little bit more in the women's divisions than the men. But yeah, there's definitely the two extremes, really tall and really short, both have a little bit more difficulty than all the average people. Which is kind of neat though, because I feel like you watch, I don't know, like basketball, or in America, you have American football. All those guys, or even if you watch the women's divisions, they're all generally taller or bigger than your average person. So it's nice that archery is this sport that all the, like, quote unquote, like normal, the average people can actually participate in. And in a way, you kind of have an advantage, sorta, because the equipment is designed more for that average-sized archer. Hopefully it's a really, hopefully that's a good answer to your question. That's a really great question. But yeah, I've definitely met some people that have been very tall, like the 6'5" range, and they've shot great. But they did spend a lot of time and some extra money trying to figure out limbs and arrows so that they weren't pulling like, 56 pounds and shooting the thickest X10s they could, or would need thicker than the thickest X10s that are produced. All right, so that's all my arrows. I'm gonna go and pick them up, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, made it back. Time for the next end. Hopefully people are enjoying the new finger tab video I put out today. So I did the first one with Matt from Black Mamba Archery, but when we were doing some close-up things, he was talking in more detail about some of the tabs he brought. Because, you know, I asked him about it. I was like, hey, Matt, you know, I know you make these tabs, and a lot of people have been talking about them on, you know, the shooting line and things like that. So you know what, I think, you know, people that, you know, view this channel, you know, you guys, the subscribers and just the viewers, would really enjoy, you know, hearing from you about your finger tabs. So I did that first video, and then I have this one that just came out on the, was the Black Mamba Venom Extreme. So I have that one, and then I actually have another one, two more? I think I have two more videos after that on two other tabs where he goes into detail on why, you know, why they were designed and set up a certain way, and you know, some of the options you have with them. So you can expect those in the future, but I felt like it gave a little more insight into why they have so many different tabs, you know, besides obviously Olympic recurve style tabs and barebow tabs, but like how they kind of came about developing these particular tabs. So hopefully people are enjoying that. I found it really interesting. I figured it was worth sharing with everybody. Also, I have not actually bought one of his tabs myself. Right now I'm still on the AAE KSL tab. I might pick up one of his tabs in the future. We'll see. I really do like his that strapping and cinching system that he has on his finger tabs. I think that's really unique and like a really good design. And I do like, I felt like the quality of his finger tabs and stuff are really nice as well. So maybe I'll pick up one of those in the future, but we will see. Oh, another thing I'm working on with my shot is when I get it back to about here, I had a habit of trying to just move my hand in, which obviously caused this wrist to you know, break, because it's going from, I don't know, it's kind of like that to more like, well, so like, it's an exaggeration, more like that, and that's not good because then I'm not using my back. So I'm actually trying to focus on moving my elbow and setting that back first before placing my hand under my chin, because by moving my hand to my chin first, my elbow was not in, you know, correct alignment, and I was really jamming up my shot as well. But that way too, I feel like for me, when I get it back there, I feel all my control like shift to my back, and I feel like I can control you know, when the shot, the whole shot, just from my back. From, you know, I guess you're kind of transferring all the control from kind of like kind of your arms to your back, and then I can just kind of just, I don't know, squeeze the back a little bit more, you know, bring that arm and stuff around. and just shoot that shot pretty much exactly when I want to, because I'll just keep going with it, and then boom. I'll definitely have to try 70 meters later today, I think, because it's going really well here, and I really want to see how I do at 70, because I have not shot. I don't think I shot after making the after going to my coach and making these changes. But like, it feels good. I feel like my hand is going a lot like, it's not doing any like roundabouts here. It's just going straight back for the most part. Obviously, it might go out some, because I still have that habit of trying to go out and then back in. But I really feel like shooting this way for me has really helped bring that release in, and it just seems like smoother and crisper. Hopefully that results in really good groups at 70, because I would be super happy about that. We got a good amount of people on this morning. Hopefully everybody's having a great time. If anybody has any questions about anything or wants to talk about a particular archery topic, just let me know in the comments section and I'll answer them when I take a look. I actually have an umbrella over this laptop now, because last time we live streamed out here, or maybe it was the time before that. Anyway, my laptop overheated and crashed the whole stream. So, yeah, I gotta kind of like duck and peek to actually see the laptop. But yeah, leave any questions or whatever in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them. Yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like that's going pretty well. So, yep, that was all my arrows for this end here. I'm gonna go down and pick them up. First, I'm gonna get something to drink. But, yep, I will be back and we will shoot another end in just a moment. Alrighty. Back again. Let's see, what other fun things are going on? I have something really interesting coming, hopefully, in the next week or so. Yes, I'm going to leave it that vague. just to drive you guys crazy. It's a piece of equipment, and we'll see. I think it might be, there might be several really fun videos with that. If everything, looks good and turns out right. So, yeah, I know, it's unbelievably vague, but we're gonna keep it that way. But I do want to let you know that that is in the works. I'm working on also more Archer videos for the World Cups. I feel like the edits I'm doing on them from the World Archery clips, I feel like they're beneficial. People seem to be enjoying them. Obviously, I like the ones that I film from the USAT events a lot better. World Archery does a good job, but they're really doing it for more of like an advertisement thing in a way. Like, oh look, here's a sport of archery. It's marketable. Coca-Cola sponsor us, which is good because we need that. But some of the clips, they switch to the target sooner than I want because you really don't get to see the archer finishing their shot, or like their kind of like maybe like their outlook in a way so much to shooting. Like I think that the clip I did of Brady from SoCal was perfect. He's just sitting there, like leaning on his bow, taking it nice and easy. Oh, the buzzer goes to walk up to the line. He just kind of strolls up, puts his arrow in, then shoots his his shots, and he's nice and relaxed. And you get a really good feel for like, all right, this guy's a top level shooter, and he takes it easy. Like he's not stressed out, at least physically on the outside. You don't see him really worried about it. Sure, maybe he's not quite that way at World Cups, but like I feel like it gives a really good image to especially new archers, or even myself. It's like, all right, I want to be like him or the Koreans, and like look at how look at their as their poise, like how relaxed they are, how oh, they're just shooting arrows. They're not stressed out, at least so much on the outside. Maybe they're stressed out, mentally, but I don't know. I don't think they are, because if they were that stressed out mentally, then I don't think they would perform how they do. But yeah. Just wanted to share that, idea with people, just in case anybody has any like feedback on it. But I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job with editing those and getting, finding, for the World Archer ones, finding interesting angles that archers would like to watch, or at least I find interesting that I would like to watch, and then hopefully other archers want to watch it too. But the USA Archery ones I have way more control over, because I can just move my camera around and video those guys and girls. Came off a little? Oh, okay. Also, I actually have some time. Well, the time's always ticking, but I believe we're at like the 1 month mark for U.S. Nationals for the senior divisions. So for anybody that's concerned, I got some time to make sure that I straighten this out, the correct way. Before having to shoot a major event like U.S. Nationals. And I definitely feel that, I don't know, especially by like next week, it should be really fantastic shooting-wise, because I feel like I'm making great progress every single day. So is anybody else going to a big tournament by them, or even a local one? Those are always fun. I think I have one Garden State Games. Yeah, I have to travel up north to the Garden State Games sometime this month. I think it's later this month, around the 20th, 21st. And then Nationals after that, and then like a week and a half later, Buckeye Classic. So yeah, if anybody's going any place really cool, or just, you know, a local tournament that you always enjoy shooting at, that'd be cool to hear if anybody wants to comment about that. What else do I have to do? Oh, I'm going to pick up some 2-inch vanes. I was hoping Lancaster was going to have like a free shipping for the 4th of July, but that's all right. Instead, they're doing a giveaway, 35 days, because Lancaster's 35 years old this year. So that's cool, but I really wanted free shipping, but that's all right. I'm just gonna have to go and pick up some vanes. I'll have to figure out a way to make it over the limit so I get free shipping. That's the real strategy. Oh, that was too close. Bad Anthony. I didn't see that one there. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go down and sort out my arrows that I just hit into each other, and I'm gonna collect them, and then I'll be back to shoot some more arrows. All right, so I actually took out 2 arrows with 1 shot. The arrow I hit, I busted the pin and the nock. Plus, I pushed the tip, the tungsten tip, partway out of that arrow. And then the arrow that hit the back of that arrow, somehow I managed to, the tip managed to come all the way out of that arrow. I found the tip, but that arrow needs a tip put in it. So I'll be right back. I actually have to grab 2 more arrows from inside because I shoot with 9 generally, and I really don't want to shoot 7. because I want to, shoot my arrow count or more for the day. So I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I made it back. I got all 9 arrows again. Let's see if you guys got any questions. Hello, Wendy. Yes, no, it's a good point. Just because you're taller or bigger in archery doesn't mean that you're going to be necessarily better at it. It's still going to come down to, your, how much you enjoy the sport, your interest in it, the time you're willing to dedicate to it. Some level, like recently there was like a whole, like, I don't know, not quite a debate, but saying how like some coaches want dedicated archers and not talented ones. But I don't know, for me, I feel like if you're a dedicated archer, that makes you good, because that is like, that's a talent in a way. Like, if you're naturally good at something, you're going to be interested, or you should be interested in it, and then you're going to do well at it because you're going to put the time in. I feel like all these things are related. And I've had some coaches now that try to make it sound like that stuff's unrelated, and it's definitely related to an extent. I feel like people that have a lot of talent in archery have a lot of interest in doing it, and that's what makes them talented. So basically, if you enjoy archery and you want to put the time in it, that's what'll make you a really good archer. But yeah, some people that are tall, it is a nice advantage. I feel like more so in the women's division. So like if you're a woman, you're like 6 foot tall. That's probably a nice, it's a nice physical advantage, as long as you can manage to shoot. You need to be able to shoot good shots. You still need to practice a ton, and then yeah, you stand a good chance of beating out all the more average-sized women. Since I think average women height is still like 5'5", 5'6", somewhere like that. So if you're 6 foot and you're a woman, then height-wise, man, you got it. That's spot on. Unlike the guys, maybe being like 6'5", it's probably really not an advantage, since I feel like the bows are more set up for a 6 foot tall man. Like, yeah, they have smaller risers, don't get me wrong, and they have different size limbs, so they're sized for women now too. But like, I don't see as much of an advantage in for men for being taller, because you get too tall, then you need arrows that are too thick, or you end up shooting a ridiculous amount of weight, and then some of those people can't handle that weight. So basically, yeah, just enjoy shooting archery and then do it a lot. Do it all the time, constantly, and then you'll be good to go. Try not to shoot my own arrows. Do not want to hit my own arrows this end. I guess that's one of those advantages of shooting a lot of arrows at practice. Like, so I shoot 9, so I only have, I got 12, but I can only like hit so many of them, like, mess up their veins or damage their nocks before I have to replace them, because I really don't want to shoot, or I don't want to practice with less than 9 arrows. So in a way, having more shooting more arrows per end kind of keeps you from like building up this pile of fix-me arrows. Because if you only say shoot 6 at a time, then you can keep like 6 arrows that you hit into and things off to the side. You don't really have to fix them right away. And shooting 9 definitely prevents that, because you only have 3 to play with. So I don't know, just my little take on it. Of course, those people that shoot 12, they usually have another dozen laying around, so yeah, lucky them. All right. That went pretty good. Didn't shoot any of my other arrows that were in the target, so that's a bonus. You said your chest, you feel like your chest is sticking out? So does that mean, you said you're arching forward though? Or I would feel like if your chest, okay, for me I feel like if your chest is sticking out, you would be bending backwards on the shot. Like forwards this way, unless you're like really hunched over, it should be fine. Like your chest should be, I don't know, maybe thinking about it this way, your chest should be down, because you don't want all the weight up, or at least for me, you don't want all the weight of the bow up here, because then you want all that weight, you know, in the center of your body. Like when you draw back your bow, you keep your chest down, you'll feel like all the weight of the shot is more centered to your core, and then you feel like you're keeping it down. Because my problem before me and my coach spent, you know, a good amount of time trying to fix this, is I would draw back and then I would arch backwards, and I could feel the weight, you know, of the shot actually going up and back, and my chest would go up with the shot as I drew back the bow. So maybe try, you know, you get your setup. When you draw back your bow, just try to keep your chest just down. Not, you know, don't have to hunch over. Just keep it down and not so much up. Because if you keep it too far up, you're actually like you're overarching your back, because your shoulders and everything are going behind you. You want to keep them centered pretty well, if not slightly, maybe slightly forward over your body, because that way you can hold all the weight of that bow more consistently, and it'll feel more comfortable. Now, granted, it's going to be a little bit of work to straighten that out. I spent a lot of time at it, and you may want to do like little videos of yourself or something so that you can keep an eye on it, because it'll probably take like a week or so of being really vigilant on it. Like, you know, every shot, try to like just focus on, all right, chest down, you know, draw the bow back, shoot, and you're going to move. Like just expect it, but you know, just keep fighting it, and that should, you know, solve your problem. You're also gonna feel like other things like other parts of your shot should feel like they line up better. At least that was my experience, and I hopefully, you know, you'll get the same experience. I also hope that answers your question. You know, of course, it's a little tough over just messaging, but yeah, if you're doing something like this, you feel like your chest is going up, you're probably going backwards this way. So then just keep your chest down, and that should help solve that. You may even feel like you're leaning over, but you're not, because I was getting that sensation too, because I leaned so far back when I shot to like try to brace the bow, the weight of the bow and stuff like that, that when I was, you know, shooting more correctly, you know, with my back, you know, not so overarched and things like that, I actually felt like I was falling forward, and I was not. I was actually just standing, you know, correctly. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so you meant bending backward. That's fine. That's fine. We we figured it out though. Well, yeah, we solved it though. So yes, so yeah, you were sticking your chest out because your shoulders are going back. That's exactly what I was doing. So I was going back, and then I was going back and back technically, because I was yeah, I was like leaning Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but that's how me and my coach went about solving it. It was a matter of, focusing on, you know, okay, we got everything set up. I got my feet set how I want them, and then just keeping my chest, keeping it down instead of going up. Keep it down, and then draw back the bow. Maybe a little bit difficult, and feel a little bit awkward at first, but I would say even in the near term, once you start getting it down, you should feel so much better about the shots, and you should feel more balanced, I guess, in how the shot is setting up. You should feel more of that weight in your chest and your core, instead of like it making you bend backwards, because it's kind of pushing you around. Hopefully that helps. I would recommend doing it from a shorter distance too. Probably don't try it from 70. Blank bail, maybe 18, depending on what you feel comfortable with. Hopefully that helps you out a lot. That's my best info that I can at least give you at this time from my knowledge and my experience. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So somebody else said their chest tends to stick out because left shoulder and back tension is collapsing. Yeah, it's like, in a way, it's like the bow like fighting you, and then you're just not quite, maybe not quite strong enough. But yeah, it'll cause you to to do pretty much just like that. You'll end up leaning back some, or for me, it would be this shoulder would go up. Not obviously, I'm more dramatic than what was actually happening, but it would go up, and then I would have this lean back and kind of over, and it's just this weird way your body goes about trying to brace that shot, and it doesn't work, like, because if you can shoot without doing that, you're gonna shoot more consistent shots. Most definitely, at least from what I'm experiencing. But you can make the other way work. It's just really awkward, and sometimes it's consistent, and then other times it's not so consistent. So yeah, I really hope that helps you guys out. It's working for me, and I'll definitely keep you updated if something massively changes. But my coach has been really consistent with what he's been working with me on, and I felt like I've been getting really good results and been feeling really good about my shooting. So I feel like this information is pretty valid and pretty useful, because he has other students besides me. He teaches a lot of especially young kids too. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I'm gonna go and get the arrows now, and then we'll go and shoot another end. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Yeah, so for it's all gonna depend on how long it'll take to fix. You know, I'm really fortunate that I'm going to, you know, my coach once a week, and like, you know, he's on me about, you know, making sure I correct these things. But then, you know, I have somebody at home that can, you know, keep an eye out, you know, end by end, shot by shot, for the most part, on, you know, what I'm doing, so that I, you know, if I'm trying to fix something, I'm constantly getting that reminder. Oh, you know, you're not holding your finger. Oh, you're, you know, you're sticking your chest out, and you know, I can keep working on these things, you know, every shot, every day. Also, I do like a lot of like a video. We're doing a video right now, technically, but like, it depends on, of course, your time, and then like, if you use, you know, some modern technology to, you know, to help you around this, like, you know, if you go to a local range and you always shoot with a buddy, maybe have them, you know, tell them what you're working on, and maybe have them, you know, every so often just take a look, just to help you stay on track. Or if you shoot by yourself a lot and you have like a cell phone or a camera, maybe take a little video of yourself, and you know, really truthfully, you know, analyze it and go, all right, see, look, I am still moving some. Let's try to do less of that. Let's see, other things. It's sometimes, you know, if you have a particular, like a favorite archer, it's like, oh, I really want to shoot like, you know, whoever, you know, maybe try to compare some of the shots you see from, you know, either the clips I put together or World Archery, and then, you know, try to see little things you could work on your form, you know, that way. You know, sometimes those really top people are hard to compare it to, but like stuff like that, and then hopefully all that effort you're putting in is going to yield, you know, a positive result. Pretty good. I don't know if you guys hear that on the camera. Neighbors struggling with their dog. I can't see them, but it's hilarious to listen to people. Like, if you got neighbors and you got a ton of woods, it's like, oh, if you only knew, I could hear you. It's like, I really don't want to hear what you have to say sometimes either, but it's like, oh boy. Didn't do a good job setting that one up. Yeah, I do feel like every archer has their own little, has their own preference in how something works, explained one way to them and maybe not well for somebody else. That's why I kind of always try to like say that like, this is what's working for me, and like, if you can apply it and it works for you, then awesome. If not, I don't quite have another way to explain it, at least at that point, you know, this point in time, regardless of what it is, because is Chip inside? The neighbor's dog just walked over. Hello, how are you? there goes the neighbor's dog. We might actually be ending the live stream in just a second here. One moment, please, because we got to bring our dog inside. See, the adventures that happen on Anthony's archery range.
Over here, Steel.
Dog's friendly, so that's a nice bonus. So at least their dog's friendly. That's a nice bonus. So sorry about that. So I'm gonna finish up these 3 shots, and I think we're gonna wrap up the live stream. Too close. Too close, Anthony. I'll answer all your questions though before I turn the stream off though. So don't worry. Yeah, there we go. It's going so nice. I don't know how it looks on, through the camera, but for me it's going really nice. I'm enjoying this. Boom. All right. Now let's see what you guys, if you guys have anything else to say. I know the stream kicked out for a second there, so. All right, so yeah, we're good. We straightened out. We got the neighbor's dog back on the neighbor's property, so that was a bonus. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up the live stream there. Thanks everybody for coming out. It's been really fun just chatting with everybody. It's good to see so many people on, and I just really like sharing what I'm doing with the archery world. So there doesn't look like there's any questions. Yeah, the camera kicked out, I guess, for a second there. It was probably the internet connection or something on YouTube's end, but technical things sometimes. But with that though, I did shoot a fair amount of ends there. I'm going to take a little break and I'll be shooting later. Of course, not live streaming, so stay tuned tomorrow, probably around this time, as long as it's not raining out. Of course, this is all outside, so it all depends on the weather. Hopefully I answered, your questions. well enough, at least to the best of my ability at this time here. And with that, thank you for watching, and as always, happy shooting!